Here we go. First phase is emptying the kegs. So basically couple them, put them upside down. We're going to open up the dump valve and just empty the contents. There's a little bit of beer left, CO2, everything, just evacuating that. Next step is the hot water rinse. We do a triple rinse, so start off by turning on the hot water. That's the first rinse cycle. I'm going to turn on the air compressor so that we can evacuate all that rinse water out of there. Okay, that's the first caustic cycle. Turn on the air compressor to put pressure on, evacuate the caustic back in the tank. We're going to do that 3 times. At the end of the caustic cycle, you can hear when all the liquid's been returned back to the caustic tank, and now it's just blowing air from the excess pressure. So that's why I was opening the dump valve for a minute, just to relieve that excess pressure, and then I'll close it back again. So now we're at the end of our caustic cycle, so I'm going to leave that one open, and I'm going to close off the caustic tank return, and now we're going to go through our triple rinse process. Now we've got to remove the caustic from the kegs. About every 10 seconds I hit the air on for a second, and it kind of grabs that rinse water and blasts it on top of the keg. You put your hand here, just feel the pressure. So we're really giving it a good quality rinse. Okay, now we're at the end of our rinse cycle. So you can hear it dying down. Now I'm going to do a quick cold water rinse. Now basically we're just trying to cool the kegs down a little bit before we put the sanitizer in there, because the sanitizer is not designed to be used hot. And also gives us an opportunity to, so we're cooling the kegs down, and then we're going to use CO2 to rinse it this time instead of oxygen, so that we can start the pre-purging process. Now we want to remove the oxygen out of the kegs and replace it with CO2. And that's quick. I only turn that on for about 10 seconds. You can feel the keg, it cools down instantly. And now I'm putting the CO2 on. I run that about 19 psi. And we'll be able to listen and hear it evacuate. Right there, I can hear it evacuating completely. So I shut the CO2 off. Now I'm going right into my acid pump. I put that on for about 10 seconds. And then after 10 seconds, it's kind of like priming the line. Then I turn on the cold water, and the cold water grabs a hold of that acid and kind of throws it into the keg. I do that for about 10 seconds, and now I'm going back to my CO2 again, and we're going to evacuate that sanitizer solution out of the kegs now with CO2. So that's the second step of oxygen removal right now. Same thing, I'm listening for it to finish up evacuating the liquid. I'm going to close off the valve, count to about 10. I'm letting it build up pressure inside of here, then I'm going to open it again, kind of give it another kind of pressure release. We're also charging this with CO2, and then we're going to evacuate that again. Let that run out for a couple seconds. Then I'm going to close that off again. Now what I do is I wait for about 15 seconds, let this charge up with CO2 for a second time, and then I'm going to pull them off, and then I actually have a coupler that I connect on there, and I turn them upside down and I evacuate it again, and then I add CO2 at another station, so I'm not tying up the keg washing station. I can kind of run it back to back. So kind of the theory I have, I start pre-purging with CO2 during the cold steps. Then I'm charging the keg. If you think about it, you're mixing it, so it's about a 50% CO2 oxygen mix when you charge it up. Then you're evacuating it, so in theory you should be evacuating half of that. Do that again, so that went from 50% to 25%, and the last one was 12%. But the fact that we actually already started pre-purging, we've already started that removal process, so I think that gets us pretty close to evacuating most of the oxygen out of the keg. And then usually when I go to do my kegging, I kind of do it one more time. I'll kind of go ahead and turn the keg upside down, evacuate it, and it also gives me an opportunity to charge it with the same exact pressure of my bright tank, so that when I hook them up and I run into, the pressure's already equalized. So that's one more unit of measure, trying to make sure that we don't get oxidized beer.